What is going on? Tube Ubers. Excuse me, I've filmed several updates.
This lighter will give you fire no matter what Mother Nature throws at you. This new incredible electric dual arc torch is the ultimate survival tool.
Without recording the audio or not actually being live, so I needed to check if we are live, and it appears that we are indeed live. We're live on YouTube. And if I just overloaded the mic, I absolutely apologize. What time is it? It is 2 o'clock on the Eastern Time Zone in Miami Beach, and it is a beautiful day. I wanted to check in with you guys before we get into some news. It's been an interesting day. The weekend was filled with just meme coin destruction. I'm down pretty bad at the moment. I mean, not.
I can't help with that, but you can ask me the time for a specific city.
So it's not that I'm down pretty bad. There is this meta right now, and it's meme coin, and I talk about this in my podcast. It is, I believe we are in this interesting 30-day super meme coin cycle where people are going to continue to experiment at their own peril. And the risk-reward ratio is so great that I think people are going to continue to try their luck at the roulette wheel. I think the attention span for this is about 30 days, which interestingly enough coincides with the Bitcoin halving, which we'll get into in a second. But this meme coin meta, it's moved to Solana. There is talk of it moving to Bitcoin, and today the rage is Base, which is Coinbase's new layer of operation, where they are trying to steal liquidity, attention, interest, and participation. So there's rumor at the moment that if you begin participating on the Base network and interacting with dApps, which are decentralized applications on that network, which means borrowing money, lending money, putting money in, exchanging it for a token, getting that token back, maybe taking that token and lending it somewhere else. There are these DeFi applications that you can do within each of these ecosystems that have the potential to reward you monetarily on the back end. So what's interesting, we are at this point where Base is pumping up the volume, trying to get notoriety for this effort that they're doing, and they are attracting interest. And how do they do that? Well, they begin probably paying people. So they just had Xcopy release a new open edition, very, very inexpensive. And for Xcopy, his work is very expensive. So how do you entice number one artist that's been on Ethereum primarily to go to a new chain? So there's got to be this underlying incentive. So there's definitely an initiative that we're seeing to try and get people to go to Base. What happens when you go to Base? Well, it's super cheap fees, it's easy interaction, not a lot of friction. Can it replace Solana? I don't know, that's the buzz at the moment. But this is what's interesting is oftentimes the first experimenters are the degenerate gamblers, the people who are willing to risk some money to try different protocols to see if it has payoff in the end, aka either airdrops in the future or instant liquidity. If you happen to bid on a meme coin and it goes up tremendously, you can cash out, though most don't, you can cash out and win. With the new Base ecosystem, because people are new, there have been, at least in the group chats that I'm reading, I would say hundreds of honeypots where people are promoting a coin. And the honeypot means that once you put money in, you cannot get it back out. No matter what, even if the coin price goes down and you're panic selling, it's not coming out. It is. So these honeypots are becoming prevalent. And the echo in these group chats is, if I'm going to get rugged, I'm going to get rugged on Solana, and I'm going to go back to Solana. And then on the Solana ecosystem, we have the founder of the ecosystem saying, please stop utilizing the Solana blockchain to send money to meme coins in advance. It is a ridiculous use of the blockchain, and it is clogging the network. All of these things that we're doing are gambling, buying lottery tickets, participating in these ecosystems. Sometimes they have rewards, sometimes they don't. I'm experiencing they don't part at the moment. So one of the tokens that came out is something called Shrooms. And this is an established presence on Instagram. And what does that mean? It means over 1 million followers on Instagram for some of the content that they create. And they decided they wanted to venture into Twitter and create a token. I don't know what the long-term prognosis is, but I believed in the creative aspect of this. So I put some money in. Immediately, it goes like this. So I was like, wow, 1 million plus followers, maybe it's time to buy some more. So I did that. Big mistake. And upon doing further research, apparently this token, the presenters of the token hold a really large amount of the token. And there's talk that they're doing things not in a super, let's say, eco-friendly way. And part of that could be two things. One, that they're not eco-friendly and they're trying to harm and take money. Two, which is what I'm hoping for, is there's a creative side to this where maybe they're, with their huge allocation, they're going to be airdropping and creating some gamification by, I don't know. Because I'm down so bad, I'm hoping for the best, but I am expecting the worst. Like, that money's gone. I hate it here, and I love it here at the same time. Anyway, so that is kind of what is going on. These tokens have come out. There was another token that came out, and the individual, the presenter, let's call him, of the token, began to do his own technical work. And I think he was out of his depth to do the technical work. And in doing this technical work, he burned 10 million tokens, aka 10 million of the supply, which are directly tied to a monetary value that are irreversible. They're gone on the blockchain. When it's gone, it's gone. There's no, sorry, it's finality, which is why it's absolutely brilliant. So after burning 10 million of the token supply, he tweets out, oh fuck, and begins to hold several consecutive spaces with over 10,000 listeners. And while you think there would be complete outrage, it turned into cheering this guy on and creating a fund, and I don't fucking know. It's awesome, like whatever the fuck's happening, it's great and terrible to be a part of at the same time. It is an evolution, it is a learning curve. I'm watching an entire community experience a gold rush. Again, this is the beginning of this bull market, I believe. And watching the different bursts, the different pockets of gold as explorers begin to look for the next big vein has been interesting. And that's where we are now. We haven't struck that vein, that rhythm where everybody knows this is the momentum. I think the momentum, I think that vein is going to be in some of, I think the Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to have tremendous plays, but I think this meme coin cycle, the just offs, the 5 through 12 top market cap coins, depending on what you're doing, have a good chance of growing. And then when you get into like the 2 to 1,000 market cap coins, there's some interesting plays that are going to be more risky, but the upside potential is tremendous. So exploration, time in the space, do your own research. It is the best time to do it because we are about to embark upon a wave of positive momentum. We just had a pullback in the Bitcoin space. This is not panic. This is lifeblood. This is exactly what you want. Reading the news about this being flooded, these are buying opportunities. I promise you. Put me on wax. I promise these are buying opportunities. So to miss this, So look at it, $60,000. If you spend $60,000 and Bitcoin turns into, let's say its value goes up to $1 million in 10 years. Let that money work for you for the next 10 years and then cash out. Think of that. That's money really well spent. And there's no headache. Buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin. At any price, buy Bitcoin. That is, in my view, a smart play for the next 10 months. For the next 6 months, I would buy Bitcoin any opportunity you have. We can talk about the meme coins, the other shit, but Bitcoin is a lot, especially if you're going to hold it. And I say don't always buy it because we're going to get to these peaks. And at some point, stop dollar cost averaging in. Like, don't buy when it gets really high because it will come back down. When it hits a point, it comes back down. Begin buying again. And this is how you're going to do this long-term projection that's going to boast very well for you. So, anything else I want to talk about? Yeah, the meme coin shit that's gone crazy. We have a tremendous amount of attention on the Bitcoin side of things. Apparently, we have Bitcoin meme coins coming, which are going to create buzz. There's talk that it may totally disrupt and clog the network to a capacity that we have yet to see. So I'm actually super excited to see this because from all of these blockages come growth and come innovation and come the need for better, faster, better delivery, better user experience. These quests that drive this space forward never stop. And when we get pushed to a blockage, collectively we move forward quicker than we do individually. And I think kind of we get into these flows where the work that we do is siloed because everybody's got their eye on the prize. But when we get to a blockage, everybody kind of floats together and figures out how do we move forward together and bust through the blockage. So in my view, we're getting close to that point. Yeah, let's get into some fucking news and see what's going on. And yeah, if you want to help support, I don't care if you like, push the button, subscribe, do all that nice shit. But yeah, go to my website and buy some merch. If I make $8 on a t-shirt, you get an awesome t-shirt. And there could be interesting shit, like, let's say you have one of my t-shirts and I'm going to hold a contest where the first person to wear the t-shirt and post a picture, post it on Instagram and tag me at I don't know, I have a friend that works at the Cheesecake Factory. First person to wear a Rare Bitch shirt in front of a Cheesecake Factory wins something. Shit like that's coming. We're going to have fun. You guys take some time to explore. There's good merch on the site. It's all quality shit. And that's that. Okay. That is, I'm going to let you guys just look at the chart. That is kind of what is going on. What do we have going on in the world today? So I just want to let everybody know that last year we broke every single major climate record that there is according to heat across the globe. Water temperatures, heat temperatures, everywhere. They are predicting that this year is going to be worse. I just want you to, shit's changing super quick. So that's one of the things to keep on your mind. It could mean get shit on sale that's fucking light and airy while you can. I don't know. Get a sun hat. Figure out better ways to create air conditioning. Oh, so what if the fucking world gets super hot and Bitcoin mining creates a ton of heat? I mean, we have all these things that are going to happen. If the ice caps melt, is Miami Beach, where I live, going to be swimming in the ocean? That's been predicted for quite some time, but people still buy and sell real estate here like it's crazy. Oh, I'm going to take a sip of my coffee super quick. This is interesting. I mean, all this shit's interesting. But, okay, so check this out. It is spring break. I mean, I think spring break started 2-3 days ago here in Miami. And whatever, the fuck a week ago, whenever it was. Sorry if I banged on the mic. Long story short is that people that are coming here to Miami Beach to visit, the police have closed down, the police closed down Miami Beach now at 6 p.m. for the whole spring break. What does that mean? Yeah, it means no bars, no, if you don't live on the beach, you're not coming onto the beach, Miami Beach, the little island here. It's kind of off limits after 6 p.m. So they're clamping down so hard. So I don't know how the store owners feel. So there's two sides of it. One, the store owners here. High season starts with spring break. So that month is the absolute best time to make money in Miami Beach if you are an owner, a restaurateur, a bar owner, whatever you are, a convenience. Yeah, people stay out really late in Miami Beach, and you have an opportunity to stay open till 4 or 5 in the morning and begin again at 8 a.m. and continue to make money. There's that many people here during the spring break. And Miami just declared this is a no fun zone this year. So past 6 p.m., nada. Absolutely nada. So people are now going to other locations. They're going to Wynwood in Miami. They're staying in Miami. But there are a lot of people who booked their vacations here thinking they were going to party like they always do in Miami till 4 in the morning and walk home from the bars, and none of that is happening. So I think the previous year was so rowdy. There were a bunch of deaths, a bunch of shootings, a bunch of, like it was crazy. Like it was crazy. So they are trying to nip that in the bud and absolutely flip the script on it, and that is in play this year. So we are seeing that play out, and people are pissed. Some people are happy. It's going to be interesting to see how it affects next year. But I think what they're trying to do is create just a super nice, safe coastal zone here in Miami, similar to many of the other places. Miami got kind of out of hand, and I think it was due to COVID. And how did that? Man, I'm getting sidetracked today, but that's what this fucking YouTube is for. Like, not just the facts, but just stupid life advice. So, just real quick, during COVID, one, Florida didn't shut down. I was in San Francisco at the time, and it was jail. Like they advised you to wear your mask in the house. If you looked in the mirror, you should have your mask on because you might give yourself COVID. Like, that's how fucking crazy it was. Here, they were fucking in the streets the whole time. Like, no masks, nothing's happening. And during that time, as everybody clamped down, there was this travel initiative where you're not allowed to go anywhere, but they're like, yo, come to Miami. It used to be $180, now it's $20 to come here. You live in Atlanta, $25, round trip. So they just started opening up Miami as this portal for people to come and party, and they did. And while everything else was shut down, Miami just became this hub of activity. So that carried on to present day. And by the time we got to last year, COVID restrictions have been lifted, more partiers are out. There was this flow that started in Miami that was, we needed a dam to come up with a quick way to fix shit, put a bunch of community minds together. This is the year they created the dam. It's interesting to see as the water stops flowing, people are like, yo, I'm drowning, what the fuck's going on? So we're seeing some of that now. So it is an interesting time in Miami Beach, but it's nice and quiet, I have to say. So there it is. So let's look at some news. So what else is going on? The other thing, if you, and I talk about this on my podcast, maybe I've even talked about this on YouTube, on YouTube. I believe, regardless of your political persuasion, you should vote with your ledger. Not your morals, not your Bible, not your wallet, not your local jurisdiction, not your affiliation of normalcy, not what your parents did. Vote for cryptocurrency. Whichever candidate is the most pro-crypto, pick that one. With that selection, if we get more people that are involved in crypto, it brings the brightest mindset in the world with it. We need those people in decision-making positions in our government, and the only way to do that is via election. And it's simple, it's fucking free. You're in a fucking amazing country. Vote. Get your shit together and vote. And to do that, I found something super interesting, and it is standwithcrypto.org. Do your research to find crypto supportive candidates. This is not an ad, this is research. None of this shit is an ad. I fucking do all this shit because I love this space. I love where we're going. I think it's amazing. Opportunities are getting ready to unfold for each and everybody. The only thing you have to do is participate, and I want to help you get smarter faster. Get smarter faster. So chaos to clarity, noise to narrative. It is Wednesday. It is March 20th, and it is time for some rare bits. Today, the crypto greed and fear index is a 74. We are down 5 degrees from yesterday. NFT sentiment is down 6 degrees from yesterday, coming in at a 54. Both of these numbers are still really decent. They're a mixture between extreme and just greed. We're happy with it. Let it ride for a moment. Top NFT search term for the normies is something called Kabosa. It's spelled Kabosa. If I see it again on my list, I will do some research. Top Bitcoin search, top crypto search is Jupe. Ticker sign JUP, that is Jupiter token. It is up 42% on the 7-day. That is something I bought a little of at about 52 cents. I am predicting that runs up to like $3 or $4 this cycle. Jupiter, it has do your own research. It's a good token. It is not too late to explore these. That is on the Solana blockchain, and it is super easy to transact with. We have Bitcoin dominance down, Ethereum dominance down. That happens because everybody is playing and gambling with shitcoins and moving their money around. Ethereum NFT sales volume is up 12% over the last 24 hours. It's up 17% on the Solana side. We have exactly 30 days to the Bitcoin halving, and that is according to block production, but doing the math, that is where we're at, about 30 days. There is a new token called the ERC7231. It is going to be loaded with digital identity capabilities on the Ethereum side of things. It is super interesting. There is going to be growth and use for that. We are about to get into everything. Do you think 50 years is enough time for SBF to spend in jail? That's what the prosecutors want to do. Is it going to happen? Before we get into more news, let us check some numbers for the nerds. And I'm going to let you guys just look at that heat map while I sip some coffee for the moment. We have a mixture of green and red. And keep in mind, this is on the 1 day, right? I can't even stop. This is on the 1 hour. So we definitely flip the script right here. And look at on the 7 day, okay? Right? Sometimes you got to zoom out. Look at Solana. Just that dark green, that is up like a MFer. And we go to the month. You know what? And the month is not loading like I want it. Wow. I do not believe the month is loading. I'm going to leave it on the 1 hour because that's the best looking one. So we're going to leave it at that. And while I'm taking a sip of coffee, I'm going to let you look at the crypto bubbles. It's just an indicator that is the current crypto market cap. The bubbles are a visual representation of what is going on. And while we're looking at that, let's just scroll down and see what's happening. So, Bitcoin all the way down to 64,000 from its high. I can't even stop. I love this shit so much. I need a sip of coffee, but all the way down from 73,800. That's down about 11.9% on the week. Ethereum is trading at 3. You know what? I need a sip of coffee. You guys can look at this shit. Man, it is a wonderful, nice day in Miami. And I don't even know if, I hope this is recording. It gets me fucking, I don't even know if I can drop the F-bomb. I believe you can, but it gets me super pissed. Like yesterday, I don't know. Yesterday or the day before, I don't know. And I think I gauged the whole thing on if I come up with any funny material. And what's interesting about the funny material is it just has to be funny to me. Like if it makes me laugh while I'm doing this shit, I'm in, right? So there was this day where I dropped a couple bombs. Like I was laughing, saying shit. And when I went to turn it off, it's like, you don't need to turn it off because it's not on. And it was an hour of bomb, just boo. It's not on. Would you like to record? I was fucking mad. Not like mad, but pretty mad. Okay, Solana's what I like to see. So these are rebounded. Everything on the hour is rebounded. I think we're going to pick up momentum. That is what I'm hoping. We have top sales across all the ecosystems. We'll get into a bunch of them, but the CryptoPunks, look at their floors down to about $197,000, aka 200 grand. And we have the Node Monkeys. That is a gold Node Monkey. It sold for 142 grand about 3 hours ago. That is probably the top echelon of that price point. Anything else super interesting here? It's interesting to see NBA Top Shot on the Flow blockchain back in the mix. So, especially at this price, $9,800. So Top Shot is what initially got most people into the NFT ecosystem. This was the precursor for most of this stuff as far as interest goes. So it's been quiet. I don't know if it's going to make a rebound, but what's interesting about it is the diehards, right? Like the army is what you want. And so the people who are super into the Top Shot, they are, and it's just like this space, right? These cycles where interest maneuvers. What I do know is the interest, it doesn't continue, it circles, right? And it might circle forward and the circle may get strangely shaped, but these are cycles. So while attention has moved away from Top Shot, there are diehards that go and look at the floor and they're just like, I can't believe this is only $1. This is unheard of. And they'll spend $500 scooping the floor of things that either are going to accrue value or are just going to be a, I don't know. It's all this shit. We're on the cusp of figuring it out. But the idea is to find conviction in something and do it because you love it. Like the people who are doing the Top Shot shit, they're searching through stats. That's what they love. Like, why not collect shit that makes you happy? And if you do, there could be a time 3 and 4 years, 5 years, 10 years now where they're doing stupid documentaries on either how brilliant or how stupid we were. And if you become a fan of something and passionate about it, aka an expert in it, you will be a wonderful person to speak with on that subject. So do what you love, it'll make you happy. Okay, anything else going on that I want to see here? Nah. Okay, next up. Okay, market sentiment I already mentioned for the NFT stuff. We're at 54 normal. That is, for us, normal is warm because it has been absolutely freezing for so long. But one stat that I do want to look at that is sobering, alarming, and it should let a lot of you wake up and a lot of the people that are in the space wake up. And that is a 30-day P&L for NFT traders. Okay, and these stats do not take into account Bitcoin at the moment because there has been a lot of activity on that. This is more around the Ethereum and Solana side of things, but these numbers have always been in this zone. So 30-day P&L for people that are profitable traders. We had 39,535 profitable traders against 550, against half a fucking million losers, right? 40,000 winners against 500,000 losers. Those are the odds in this space, in this rat race that we're in, player versus player. So that's the game. So that's where we're at. So that's why I wanted to bring up that stat. If we look at activity, we already talked about this shit. I do want you to see some of the other stuff that sold. I believe, and I don't know, but I'm going to click on this in a second. I believe that cat is possibly for Gary V. What is it for? Yes, so that is for VeeFriends. So this is really interesting. I was thinking about this. So Gary V, which many people in this space listen to not only for guidance, inspiration, but counsel on how to move forward as an entrepreneur, as a creative thinker, as a marketer. He drops a lot of wisdom bombs. I was listening to a podcast where he happened to be doing a podcast during his drop of VeeFriends, this particular project. And it was at the beginning of this cycle that was amazing, right? And so one of the utility items that he offered with this collection were IRL events and meetings with Gary, which is awesome. And people loved it. And his collection has reached this lifespan where he put an expiration date on all of these meetings. And I get it, like these are not lifelong passes. So I find that really interesting, but what I also find interesting is Gary is going to create this long-term story arc similar to that of the characters of Disney. And I don't know, I find that really interesting. So trying to figure out where the value is in holding some of these VeeFriend assets that no longer have the free pass to Gary Vee events, aka the utility's gone. What is the new utility to hold an asset that costs $5,000 or $6,000 to get in? And when we're talking about $5,000 or $6,000, somebody just paid for this hologram. Let me back up again. Yeah, so they paid $176,000, and this is granted that's about 55 Ethereum. So that is one of the hologram, and it's one of the top ends of the collection. Does that, so, does purchasing something like that get you an instant sit down with Gary Vee? It might, just out of appreciation. It's going to make whoever owns it, the seller, very happy. I'm sure the owner's going to be happy. They wouldn't spend that type of money if they didn't enjoy Gary's content and being in this ecosystem. And that is a badge of saying, yo, I enjoy it this much. So the price, what's your price to enjoy something? What is your price to smile? What is your price to have a piece of art that's truly amazing? An interesting example, I just recently bought a collection called the OK Bears. And it's the artwork. It's one of my favorite artworks on Solana. The Trip and Ape Tribe and OK Bears. There's a couple of them that are kind of these collections that have lost their steam for different reasons. But if you like the art and this bear makes me smile, like that's a good time to buy shit. Like I don't care what the price is right now. So maybe that's what happened with this particular Gary Vee thing. But that's what's also magic about this space and magic about shit being on the blockchain is your wallet's tied to it. And maybe these purchases when nobody's looking, maybe the VeeFriends purchase when the attention is not on Gary Vee. Maybe buying this high price asset sets off a bell that Gary Vee can answer anytime he wants. And it could be a year from now, it could be 6 months, it could be 3 years. But all of these assets give the creator a chance to reach back out and say, hey, thank you. Shit's changed now, I'm doing better. If you are holding my asset in your wallet, I'm gonna send you something, I'm gonna send you an activation that is valuable for this moment today. And that gift, that appreciation letter, that whatever it is, it could come 3 to 5, it could come as something that your kids experience as Gary Vee wants to grow this collection to infamy. So there's all these interesting riddles and stories that can happen because this stuff is on the blockchain that keeps me excited and enthralled in this space. Okay, looking at the top 5 collections on the Ethereum side of things, we have Bored Ape Yacht Club, Pudgy Penguins, Milady Maker, Mutant Ape Yacht Club, and Little Pudgies rounding out the top 5. Milady Maker, Cheryl Fang, she was hacked, she lost a bunch of assets. Charlotte Fang. She lost a bunch of assets, a shit ton of Ethereum, and there was, Milady Makers have just been on this upward trajectory as far as price, and then boom, and people were like, why is the floor dropping? It's because these hackers stole everything and were just flooring stuff. So I've talked about this on my podcast, that I always feel absolutely horrendous purchasing stolen goods, because it's but this is the blockchain and it's the Wild West, and if it's for sale, it's for sale. So there are people that scooped in and purchased these assets directly from the thief, and whether they're supporters of the community and did it to give them back, or they're people trying to get into that community and just found an acceptance pass 3 Ethereum cheaper than it should be. Like, you can't hate on people that are taking advantage of opportunities. You never know why, why is the floor instantly dropping? Oh, I bought a stolen asset. Or was it, there's some other drama and I just bought an asset as the floor is about to really tank. So you have to understand there's always 2 sides to this coin. Anyway, it's nice to see Milady Maker. They're rebounding a bit. Mutant Ape Yacht Club, Little Pudgies, they are contenders, as Pudgy Penguins and Bored Ape are the new contenders. How far off are we? Pudgy Penguins are trading at 37,000, Bored Ape at 44,000. So there is a differential that we are experiencing. There was a moment not too long ago where the Pudgy Penguins actually rose above the Bored Ape Yacht Club, and we know somebody in the space. His name is the Bunny, and he got an awesome tattoo of a Pudgy Penguin on his upper thigh because that transpired. I think he also has to eat a plate of his own, but that's probably not going to happen because that's disgusting. But it's an engager. It's really engaging, isn't it? Mutant Ape Yacht Club trading at $7,600. Little Pudgies at $3,300. Mutant Ape Yacht Club, they're trading at 2.3 ETH. They were at the 4.4 ETH. They were our stable coin in the NFT ecosystem. As we see focus and attention move to Bitcoin and Solana and meme coins, Ethereum prices are dropping. In my view, people are making a mistake, taking their eye off the Ethereum side, because everything is about to go up. When Bitcoin goes up, Ethereum is the tail of that dog. It will also go up. These assets are about to rebound like nobody's business. That is my opinion, but I give absolutely horrendous advice. Tune in for more. Look at the top 5 movers on the Solana side of things. We have Frogana's Mad Lads, Mutamon, Famous Fox Federation, and Peppermint's rounding out the top 5. This is new. The Mutant Man, the Mutant Mon is brand new to our top 5. There were 1,200 sales in the last 24 hours, which is interesting. So we know the Froganas, people are just wash trading these for whatever reason. Volume is back up. I think over the weekend it was down to about 4,000 trades every 24 hours. The previous week we saw between 12 and 14,000 trades every 24 hours. Now we're settled down to about 6,200 every 24 hours. Prices still remain in that pocket, that 555 to like 650 range. It doesn't diverge from that too much. If Solana rips up or down, sometimes we see it pull or lag, but it's interesting. Mad Lads trading at $28,000. That's 164 Solana. They're down quite a bit, but Solana's up tremendously. So right around that $30,000 range is where Mad Lads seem to find their pocket. Mutant Mon, I know nothing about it. Let me just double click this, see what it is. Okay, so these are, what is this? Do we even want to get into this? You know what, I'm going to circle back to this. I'm not even going to look at this stuff. There's diamond rewards involved, so if you know about this or interested, shoot me a text, let me know. Don't shoot me a text. That's ridiculous. Why would you do that? Who does that? Text me. All right, but if you know what these fucking eggs are, let me know. Not necessary, because I'm going to figure it out later. They're going to be here tomorrow because there's a shit ton of trades. All right, now look at it. The Bitcoin. Okay, so top 5: Runestones, Node Monkeys, Bitcoin Puppets, Little Pups, OMBs, Arctic Meta Protocols. I always go more than 5. So what do we want to talk about? So the big hitters here, the Runestones. These are trading for $3,500. These were airdropped to 112,000 different wallets across the Bitcoin ecosystem. They began trading at about $1,200. Now they're trading at $3,500. I do not know. I understand why people are trading them, but these runestones will not be activated until the Bitcoin halving, which is still 30 days away. So I don't know. There's lore, there's things involved with having this in your wallet and holding it and waiting for the Bitcoin halving, for these things to find the activation that Leonidas has planned. I think there are two ways to play it. Doing absolutely nothing is one way to play it, where it might be advantageous to do just that, and how relaxing to just do nothing. The other is to play the market and watch it go up and down and begin trading these as assets, which a lot of people have done, as there have been 2,543 sales in the last 24 hours. And what is always interesting on the Bitcoin side of things is there are 32 sales currently pending, and it is about 2:46 p.m. on the Eastern time, so that's about 11 p.m. on Pacific time. So it's this is a good time to see how much flow there is. If there's big demand, people are making time during their lunch, during whatever the fuck they're doing, and 32 pending sales for the middle of the day on whatever day this is good. So take that with a grain of salt. I think runestones, they also offer a whole host of airdrops that will be coming just by holding these assets. I was on a space earlier today asking somebody if they wanted to get into the Bitcoin ecosystem and wanted to experience some of the upcoming airdrops by holding some of these assets, what is the cheapest, best vehicle to entry? And the answer was the Tiny Vikings. And there have been 812 sales in the last 24 hours. There are also 33 pending at the moment. These are currently trading at 0.0065 Bitcoin. That is about $416. These are going to have lore and things involved with these. There's a website, there's a backbone. Alpha Sane, I actually know him from Spaces. He's a very interesting and schooled individual, so I'm sure he's going to bring some fire to the table with this. If you are interested in cooperating and being involved in this ecosystem, this is a great way to do it. Get yourself a Magic Eden wallet, put some Bitcoin in it, and buy some Tiny Vikings, and just see if airdrops happen. Just periodically check your wallet, and you would be surprised at the activity that comes down the pike. Now, any other news I want to get in before I send you guys on your way? And the answer is absolutely yes. I want you guys to keep your mind out on the Ethereum side of things. We just had the ERC 7231 come out. It is going to be involved with digital identity. There are going to be some interesting capabilities with digital identity. It is going to give you different ways to prove who you are without revealing stuff, which is absolutely what the blockchain has the ability to do. It will be a new way for you to apply for jobs, get on an apartment housing list, buy a piece of property, lease a car, purchase a car, do all of these things. You will be able to access different aspects of your digital identity, which is rooted in the blockchain, provable, infallible, and these will become your proof mechanisms to move forward in the not too distant future. So I am excited about all these things. This token standardization is absolutely cool. It's what we need. It is also going to offer some interesting security aspects to the NFT side of things, so keep your eye on it. We have Square Enix. They are investing in Hyperplay. That is a Web3 gaming platform. This is all to make experiences better for you, the end user. This space is filled with these revolutions where we come up with technology and it's clunky and cumbersome. It's like fucking moving on sandpaper to get shit done. And the early adopters get rewarded with airdrops for being the participants. And as the UX UI gets better for the normies, that's when the flow begins. And we're getting into this. Square Enix investing in Hyperplay is one of these examples where they're going to remove the rough edges and just create a smoother user flow. So onboarding is coming. I'm excited about that. We have top XRP NFT collection called the XPunks. They have decided to pull shift on XRP. They are moving to the Solana blockchain where everything is easier and faster and there is a shit ton more traffic. So Solana has just been blowing up. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Base network. I don't know if I touched on that in the beginning. I just got off a space where we talked about that ad nauseum, so just base is going to be something to watch. And it's so something to watch. Like, you know, and it's funny, because I do stats, I wake up every morning really early to do statistical analysis on a bunch of different stuff and watch the trends and see what is happening. And I get to these junctures where the market is moving into new realms, and the statistical websites where I gather data have not updated yet. And they're clunky, their user experience isn't great. So as different blockchains become more prevalent, my ability to research them effectively kind of ebbs and flows. So I'm at this juncture currently where Base, even Bitcoin, some of these other blockchains, they're tough to track statistically, analytically, to get the type of data that I like to make decisions, which is why I have not included them in my reporting. But, excuse me, we're getting at that point where the reporting is going to get broader if we are going to continue, like, if we want to compete, continuing to do this. So, and I urge everybody to do not be a maxi about any of this stuff. That's one of the things that I've always tried to do, is never get sucked into just one school of thought on this stuff. I'm sucked into the school of thought that I fall in love with the problem, not the solution, right? If we have a problem and the first solution we have is Bitcoin, great. People fall in love with the solution, but never lose touch with the problem, the driver behind it. If you stay in love with the problem, keeps your eyes open for other things, like, why is Solana good? Why is Ethereum good? Why are these other blockchains good? If you fall in love with the first solution, you miss the advantages that each of these other things could possibly offer. So change is coming. We love to see it. It's interesting to see projects watch the evolution of the ecosystem and decide to go back to Solana. I'm a holder of a collection called DeGods and Utes, and they started on Solana and left and went to Polygon, and now we're on Ethereum. And now via the Wormhole, which is this amazing organization, we are going to transport, and I don't know if we're going back to Solana or we're going to become one of the first collections to be omni-chain, giving the holder the choice where to put their asset and where to live with it. So a lot of the traders who like to trade are going to choose to put their asset on Solana because the friction is zero. Maybe the collectors choose to stay on Ethereum because they have no intention of selling their assets. So it's funny, people shit on Ethereum. And I was at a dinner party not too long ago with people that are Ethereum maxis, and they shit on all the other chains. And it's so interesting to see people so focused in the lane that they're in. But to their credit, the Ethereum stuff that I found really interesting and is Ethereum has its purpose, and it serves that purpose better than any other blockchain out there. And yes, you can trade NFTs on it, you can do all of these different things on it, but that's not its purpose. It fulfills its purpose better than any other blockchain, so it's never going anywhere. An example is, can you take a Honda Civic and put a lift kit on it and big tires? Sure, it's not meant for that, but you can do it. It's not the best use case for it, but it'll work. It'll get you there. You'll look like a yo-yo, but it'll work. So we're figuring out how to not look like a yo-yo on these different chains. And trust me, Ethereum's place, it will never lose its provenance or it's not going to lose footing, in my view. So next up, we have Altcoin Sherpa. He is one of the traders that I follow. He often makes predictions about different coins, and he is just super bullish on Solana. He said we're going to see possibly 100% gains for this year, even despite the pullbacks that we've had. Just keep your eye on Solana. I think Solana is one of those safe bets if you're new to the space, don't have a lot of time to spend watching the rise and fall of coins. I would recommend buying Solana, buying Bitcoin. They're super easy. Keep them on your... Solana, Bitcoin, and Ethereum to me are super smart, easy plays. Depending on how much time you want to spend trading, looking at charts, understanding the nuances, you can start experimenting with different coins. But these are good coins. We're about to go, and just put your money and let it be a part of this, because it's coming. It truly is. It's coming. Anything else that is super interesting? No. I think the last thing that I saw was that Sam Bankman-Fried, he is in prison. He's not in prison. He might actually be in a prison. He might be in a jail awaiting final sentencing, and then sentenced to prison. So he might be waiting for a space. But currently, the prosecutors are trying to sentence him to 50 years. And his attorney said that is just archaic and barbaric, and it's a no-go. So it's really interesting. I don't know, I'm trying to find a quote for you guys. It's really interesting to see how this is going to play out. I do know that sentencing is coming up really soon for Sam Bankman-Fried, and it will be interesting to see what they try and do. In my view, they are going to use him as a whipping post and an example to all of the other people out here that are thinking about crypto scams. He is the next generation's Bernie Madoff. There will be one every generation. There always is. Sometimes there's multiples. He is yours. SBF, will he get 50 years? Leave some comments in the fucking thing. Subscribe, like, tell your friends. Tune in, follow me on YouTube, whatever. Like, you guys know what to do. I'm also on Twitter quite a bit, doing some live stuff. And subscribe to my Substack. It's filled with fucking blockbuster information. A lot of this shit that I went through without the commentary. So you may actually prefer my Substack over me, because it's just facts. And I spend a lot of time trying to make it concise, like, I don't know, edible for you to eat in the morning with your French toast or whatever the fuck you eat in the morning. Maybe exercise in the morning. And you want to listen, you can listen to the podcast. Oh, and here's where I'm at today too, is there are apparently there are ways to record the YouTube and I don't know, maybe just send the audio to the podcast. I haven't necessarily figured out how to do that. So maybe a day like today where I do a YouTube, maybe I won't do a podcast. Fuck. Yeah, I don't know. I'll figure shit out. Either way, I hope you guys have a fucking good day, right? Like, market's down, we're not. We're ready for this shit. The up and down is the lifeblood of shit. That's how we know it's working, because it's breathing, and the swings. That means something's getting ready to happen, right? Big breaths. That's what these are. These are giant breaths before the locomotion takes off. That's exactly what's happening. Trust me. I'm going on wax saying it. I just want to let them know that they did not break me. I'm still here. I'm producing content no matter what, even if I only have one person that watches. And you know what? It's fucking, yeah, so the podcast, like, it's interesting. Like, I do a podcast every day. And, you know, like, it doesn't take a long time, but it sucks a couple hours. I do a couple hours of research for my Substack, but then to turn it into a podcast. Let's say that takes 2 extra hours to fucking do it and send it and blah, blah, blah. Do I keep doing the podcast, right? I don't even know if I keep doing these videos. Like the podcast, I mean, like, if I have 4 listeners, and fucking truth be told, if I tune in to hear if it recorded okay, it probably counts me as a fucking listener. So if I only have 3 listeners, right? How many episodes do you do with 3 or 4 listeners? Or do you just keep going, or do you stop? Do you give up? And there's this great comic where this guy he's got a pickaxe and he's digging a hole and he's going toward the gold. And he just gets fed up right before the wall's about to break and turns around. He's like, I've given it my all. I've given it everything I had, and I have not seen results. And my wife, my family, everybody told me I was crazy for digging in this direction. And they were right. The idea, what I'm trying to get at, is don't give up, because I'm not going to give up. 4 people is enough for me. But if you fuckers could tell somebody, that'd be even better. Like, if I could have like 6 or 7, that'd be way better. And like my Substack, right? I spend a lot of time doing the Substack, and I spend a lot of time formatting it, making sure it's good to read on the shitter. Like, it comes in the email, you subscribe, you go through it on the shitter in the morning or when you're having your coffee, and you get a snack bite of all the good shit, right? And I go through about 36 websites every morning to create this content, and it changes every day. Sometimes the 36 websites don't hit, so I have to find other ones. Like, trust me, I do a lot of work, and I try and deliver content that is important in a way that makes sense. That's what the Substack is. So subscribe to that. Don't be nice. It's always possible to be nice, and you can be nice today and subscribe to that shit. Or get some merch, do whatever. Fuck, I don't care. Remember, the rabbit hole runs deep, still craving crypto clarity. Please subscribe to my Substack. Or tell your friends about this stupid YouTube channel where I'll be doing live shit. I went on Twitch the other day. Oh, maybe Twitch or Twitter. I don't know, one of them. But, so talking about inspiration. So if you guys listen to my podcast, I have an interview series as well. And I interviewed a Twitch gamer, and she streams. And she is continuing to get more and more popular. And she tells me that when she started streaming, she would stream for hours, like 5 or 6 hours, to nobody. And what I found interesting is that these are not recordings. People don't look, you don't look for the best recording unless something brilliant happened, right? People are looking for live streams. So you sitting there doing that 6 hours of content for nobody, like, how long do you keep doing it? And she said, you just keep doing it. And I implore each of you to keep doing your shit. Don't give up on it. The world is changing. Technology is changing. If you're involved in this crypto space, it's about to change lives. Over the next 2 years, lives are going to be radically different. Improvements are going to be radical. The adoption is going to be seismic. And it all started with the SEC approval. We haven't even seen the effects of it. Inflow, outflow. Who the fuck cares? The hedge fund managers can't buy it for their clients yet, even though it's all good. It's going to take them time. It hasn't started. It hasn't started. We're about to go. Buckle up. I hope you guys are having a fucking awesome day. And that's it. You can find the Rare Bits podcast everywhere you podcast. It's called Rare Bits. And it's even like on an Audible, Apple, blah, 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 blah. I hope you guys are having a good day. All right, peace.